over to Mr. Reynolds.
Well, we're looking at the budget for the coming year. You got on there that Judge White budget requested a 5% increase, but there's only a 3% increase in the budget. What have you told the judge?
Well, the judge should be on here. Judge, are you there?
Can you hear me, Mayor?
Oh, yes. Judge White, I just put 3% to start with until she came and talked with y'all. I did have a letter to request the 5% in your packet, and the judge wanted to speak to you about that. So, Judge, it's your own. We can hear you.
Great. First, let me just say thank you for allowing me to jump on and be heard and not seen this evening. I simply wanted to speak to the council and ask them for really any percentage that they could give to the court staff. When I got here in 2018 and we did that first budget preparing for 2019, I asked for whatever we could get from the council and the quorum court. And that's really my position today. Having had the opportunity to serve in both Hot Spring and Grant County, I simply want to remind the council, and I will remind the court if I'm given the opportunity to do that, about the importance of our district court clerks and the weight that they bear on their shoulders every day. This is not the equivalent of a job managing a Wendy's or, standing at the window at Wendy's. This is not the equivalent of a job running the cash register at Walmart. This is a very important role, and it's very important for our court system to be run, managed by competent court clerks. I like to think, and I hope that we have a group of competent court clerks now, because competence and efficiency is something that's very important to me. And so when we were preparing for the budget for the 2021 year, of course, I will not be here, but I think that I could speak for whoever is going to fill my position after tomorrow, that competence and efficiency is important. And so paying those clerks, even the clerk that sits at the window and is responsible for answering the phone calls every day or for taking money, is a big deal. And the weight that sits on those clerks' shoulders is a big deal. So I'm really asking the council and the quorum court for anything they can do to increase the salary for the court staff, whether that be 1.5%, whether that be 3%, but I would love it if we could get as close to 5 as we could, to ensure that we don't have a continued amount of turnover in the court system. What I have found is that good folks come in, but good folks can't necessarily stay because they can't raise the families on the salary that is given to them. And so I simply wanted to speak to the court, to the council myself, and express the gravity and severity of how important those jobs are, and ask for anything that the council could do.
Okay, thank you, Judge. I just want to remind all of you, or kind of refresh you again, how that is set up. The way it's set up is the part-time, well, we have an agreement with the county and also with Sheridan and Grant County. The judge's assistant is paid by Malvern, Hot Spring County, Sheridan and Grant County, and Rockport. So each one of them is responsible for 20% of her salary. So when it comes to the other clerks, there are 3 clerks and a part-time. The part-time is the small claims court, and how this was all set up was previous to me, so I'm not sure the reasoning behind any of it, but that's what's continued. The small claims court is a part-time position. That's, even though she's a city employee, the county pays 100% for that person's salary. The other 3 clerks up there, we pay half their salary and the court pays half their salary, but they are city employees. So the court actually gives us the money to cover half their salaries. So I did talk to the budget chair with the county. At the time I talked to him, they weren't sure about raises and they weren't sure how much they were going to be able to do. Judge, have you heard anything from the county?
I have not, Mayor, but in 2018, when we were preparing the 19 budget, I didn't hear from them then either. I heard from the city much more regularly than I heard from the county. But I have extended the same offer to the quorum court that I did to the city council, where I expressed a desire to come and speak to them if they would allow me to do so. But I have not heard back from them on any date specific for that committee meeting.
Thank you. So whatever, in the past, like she said, we've actually given a 1.5, and then the county would give a 1.5 because
Correct.
we're both responsible for half of the salary. So I just wanted to explain that. Is that as clear as mud? Does everybody understand how that works? Okay.
And my understanding, the county has not committed to anything.
Not yet, no.
No, not to my knowledge.
And you put how much in our budget?
I did 3% full for the complete salary for everybody, waiting to hear back from the county. That's usually how I handle it. And then if the county does not come across with their part, then we go back and readjust it.
And if recollection serves, Mayor, that's exactly what happened in 18 for the 19 budget year.
Yes, I think so, Judge.
So we would be talking about a 5% increase in the city's portion of their salaries,
Yes.
but they may not get an increase from anyone else.
It's very possible, yes, sir. Kind of makes it difficult to keep up with, but that is, yes, we have spreadsheets to keep up with all that.
Well, Mayor, you originally had 3% down.
Yes, for their whole salaries. That's what's in the budget. But it was 3% for the entire amount. So what I have to do, I have to figure out exactly what everybody is responsible for, and then Sheridan's part, Grant County's part, the county's part, Rockport's part. If you look in the revenue department, the revenue section, it actually shows it going back in towards as our revenues.
But let's not get confused. The only person that is paid by both counties is my court administrator. My chief district court clerk in Hot Spring County and the other 3 court clerks are paid either by City of Malvern or Hot Spring County only. The only one that's paid by both counties is the court administrator. So I don't want everyone to get confused when that's being said as if everyone is paid in that fashion. They are not.
Yes, just the court administrator, just the judge administrative assistant is paid by all of them. The county shares the 3 clerks, and then the county pays the part-time 100%.
That's exactly right. That's right.
I want you to look in you can look in the revenues and see how much is kicked back in our revenue stream for that, because they are truly considered city employees. But those other entities put money in to help cover those expenses.
So what have we done in the past, Mayor?
Well, we've done, usually we do for them whatever we do for everybody else. So if everybody else gets a 3%, then we do a 3% on our portion of their money.
That's
Yeah,
3%.
Pardon?
3% would be our portion.
That's what I've been doing, yes, because the county, sometimes they kick in their 1.5, sometimes they're not able to.
Well, why wouldn't they kick in?
Well, sometimes it depends on, it depends on what raises they give. Sometimes last year they gave 3% raises. The year before that they didn't.
That's
So
right.
did they kick in last year?
Yes,
They did.
yes.
How much did they kick in last year?
They did their 1.5. Well, let's see, last year we did 1.5 and we did 500 flat. So we did 500, but since half of their salary is by the county, they actually got $250 from us. $250. Because we didn't do raises, didn't do anything but $500 last year.
We did some raises, didn't we?
$500. Everybody got 500.
We did some percentage raises, didn't we?
No, not last year. Everybody got flat 500.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
thought you were trying to bring some people up and they got a percentage raise.
Well, they did the year before, but not this past year. Everybody got $500 flat.
Mhm.
I was looking for the numbers. You know what the numbers are? How much is the increase we're putting in there now, dollars? And how much would it be at 5%?
As far as,
About thousands or hundreds?
just a minute, are you talking about for the court people?
Yes.
Just a minute, I can look it up, just a minute. Okay, on 3% of their entire salaries, you're looking at $4,170.23 increase.
That's for everyone?
Yes, in the court system, that's 5%. Now that's for the entire salary.
That's 3%.
That's 3%, yes, for the entire, for everybody.
And the county could pick up part of that.
Well, yes, I mean, I've tried to, like I said, I've talked to the budget chairman and he wasn't sure on raises exactly what they would do this year.
But for our budget purposes, we really are not talking about the exact cost of the city of Malvern. We're talking about total cost of a pay increase.
Right, so.
But we don't know what that number is right now.
No, but it would be, let's see.
No, but we are doing what she's asking for, an increase of some kind, and we've already got it in the budget here, so I think that we're kind of on page with her. I guess she needs to hear from the county too, and that would help her know what she needs to know, but
and that's
we've already figured something in here.
Right, and that's what I usually do is I work with the county to see what they're gonna do, and then we have to make adjustments accordingly.
But if this includes the county's money, they have not put any increase in there.
Not yet, no, that's why I have to go back and
But
adjust.
we're talking about 4,127. That's only the city's 3% increase.
No, that's 3 for the entire amount. I mean, look at half of that, say, probably $2,000 is 3% of the city's half.
That's right.
$2,000, right around.
All I'm saying is we are considering what she's asking for is some kind of percentage raise. It's already in our budget.
So the county only pays half of one of those salaries, though, is that correct?
So the county pays half of, well,
All of
half of 4 of them. I'm sorry. Half of 3 of
That's not what we said earlier.
half of 3 of them is 20% of her administrative assistant. Malvern pays for 20% of her administrative assistant and half of 3 clerks.
That's right. And the county pays for the 4 by themselves.
Yes, the part-time small claims clerk.
And the total cost of that 3% would be $4,320.23.
$4,170.23. $4,170.23.
I guess I've got a different number here in front of me.
Oh,
Is that judicial salaries? Yeah, whatever. Says 3% increases. Anyway, we're close.
yeah, that is what it is. I'm looking at 2 different things. I'm trying to add in my head, which is not very good.
Yeah, under our
Yeah,
judicial,
$4,320.23. I'm sorry, yes.
$4,320.23, and that would be a partial. That we would actually pay.
What's the feelings of the committee? David?
I mean, I think that we're considering what she's asking for, so it's already in here across the board is what the mayor's put in here for everybody, including judicial. It's already figured into this budget, so.
But
That's
not
only
5%,
that's only a 3% increase.
not 5%,
No,
David.
I'm saying she asked for any kind of increase and anywhere from 1 to 5, and we are considering a 3%. It's already in the budget for a 3%. So I'm saying, hey, we just need to move forward with this and then hopefully she hears from the county soon.
I'm okay with that. How about you?
I feel the same way
Where's
about
our
that.
other committee member?
Here I am. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, then maybe the county will kick in that part.
Well, there's already 3% in the budget. We're gonna vote on that sooner or later, so.
I'm talking
Right.
about. Okay, we're going for the 3%.
Yeah, I say we just move forward with what the mayor's already budgeted and then, and we have probably a lot of other things to talk about, but I mean, at least we are considering what the judge is asking for.
Okay, is that a motion?
Well, there's nothing to make a motion for. It's already in here, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be in the budget.
You want the motion, Wayne?
The motion would be to leave it at 3%.
Okay,
Okay, I'll make a motion. We leave it what the mayor has it at 3% for now.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
But we will look at it again. I mean, we're not through with it.
Okay.
All right.
Judge,
Mayor, can I speak before I exit?
yes, ma'am.
Absolutely. To the ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to say thank you for allowing me to jump on this evening with you. Maybe the last time that you hear from me in my tenure at home. And so I know that my staff will be grateful and I'm grateful for them, for anything that you can do for them. So thank you for allowing me to visit with you this evening. And I hope you have a good rest of the evening. Mayor, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye-bye.
Okay, the next thing I've got is, I don't think any of us realized until recently that there is a 27th pay period in this year. Apparently y'all dealt with this 10 years ago, but I wasn't here and it was a major ordeal. So I actually had our city attorney research it and she's here about, apparently the other cities are kind of having the same kind of problems. Without realizing it was the 27th pay period this year. So anyway, we are asking to amend the budget to include that 27th pay period. On this, we've got a resolution to amend the budget, and we've also got an ordinance to amend for the elected officials. So that's what that is, the next two items. They kind of go hand in hand. Cecilia's here if you have any questions. It specifically, she put the law, made copies of what's in the law book about the 27th pay period.
Any questions?
Is that for elected officials only?
No, this is for everyone. The B resolution is to amend the budget to include all the hourly staff. C is the ordinance for the elected officials. This is per what our auditors said we had to do to make it official. And Cecilia's here with me if you have any questions, because she did all the research on it.
Was it something that was an oversight or what?
Well, yes, ma'am, we didn't realize it was 27 pay periods until just recently.
We thought it happened next year,
Uh-huh.
but it happens every 10 years. And the last time it happened, the state did not have a law that told you what to do to fix it. And it was a major crisis when audit time came up. So this year, we got a call that said that this is how we're supposed to fix it. And so this is what we need to do.
So state law, let me get this straight. State law requires that we pay the 27th pay period?
State law requires that we amend the budget in order to pay the people for the 27th pay period. Every 10 years, there are 2 extra weeks.
I understand that. I read about it, leap year and all that stuff, but I'm just saying, does the state require it or is it an option?
Well, I'm not gonna say they're gonna require it, but you're gonna have all your employees go 2 weeks a month between pay periods, and that might be very difficult for their budgets.
I understand that. I'm just trying to understand the law for the future, you know, of course, I
Well-
won't be around the next time it happens.
Well, it happens every 10.
That's 10 years from now.
Well, I think this, in
I
the
don't know. I think
past,
Larry
we
will still
just
be on here.
ignored it.
We won't be here next 10 years.
In all the years that I've been with the city, we just ignored it, and the auditors just ignored it. But 10 years ago, it was a big deal.
I understand, the elected officials were threatened to go to court. I
Yes,
mean,
we
go
were
to jail.
threatened with jail. We were threatened with removal from office. We were threatened with a $10,000 fine, and that also included aldermen. So I'm just saying we need to fix it.
I got one question. What does this do to our rollover for this year?
No, it's included. When I did my carryover, it's included. I took this into consideration.
Okay, so you already knew about it when you gave us this budget?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We found out about this, I think, in August or September, and Donna's been working on it.
Okay.
Yeah, and I've been working on it with the auditors to make sure we did it right. And I've had
You just didn't
Cecilia-
say anything about it at the budget meeting.
Well, no, I didn't say anything
Okay.
about it because Cecilia was finishing up on her research.
I thought
too.
this like just came up and we were like,
Well,
oh,
no,
all of a
we've been,
sudden
no,
we're
no,
out this
no.
money.
We've been working on it. I've talked to the auditors several times. Cecilia's looked at the law. Phyllis has been dealing with it on her end, but no, it's something we've been researching and finding out what we need to do legally so that nobody would be threatened with jail time.
It sounds like we're on the right page with it then.
And you won't have to worry about it again for another 10 years. So anyway, I would like to put that on the agenda, please, Mr. Reynolds, the B, resolution, and C, the ordinance.
Well, since we don't add to the agenda, and going back to the previous, we're recommending that it be put on the agenda, I guess. That would be the motion. Do we have a motion to recommend?
I make a motion.
All right.
I don't want to go to jail.
Either, Mary.
Okay, all in favor, aye.
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 All right. That's that's the finance committee's recommendation to the agenda committee. Put it on.
For the resolution and the ordinance,
Yes.
Mhm.
okay?
Okay, next,
Explain the ordinance to me.
the ordinance is for the elected officials for the 27th pay period. The amending of the budget is for,
And the meeting budget is the resolution. What about the hourly people or the
hourly people.
you have to do anything for them? A
Yes.
resolution?
No, yeah, they're just included in amending the budget.
I got you. Okay.
Okay. All right, next, we've got the budgets, and I was gonna kind of go over all that with you. First off, just to let you know, when it comes to raises, I did include a 3% raise with some adjustments per, JSEP. I did put the JSEP information in your budget book. And on here, if you notice, if I do 3% and some adjustments, that's going to put us, other than the court system, that's going to put us only 4 people that are not at the minimum. So that's what I'm asking for. That does include giving the city council a 3% raise also. When it comes to the actual budget, I'm just going to kind of give you an overview, and then you can come back and ask questions.
Mayor, I got a question right now, if you don't mind, before I forget it. At what cost would the 3% be plus the other adjustments? What's the total cost of that?
I didn't add that up.
Okay, so we're doing 3% and we're doing other on top of it?
Yes. I don't have, I have,
That's what this is. baby.
Yeah.
I don't have an exact total. You mean add it up real quick?
I thought we were taking 3% and then spreading it around.
No, I did 3% and added adjustments on top of that. I thought y'all.
Yeah, I'd like to know the total cost of that.
Well, we spent a lot of time on this. Mayor, you're not wanting to put this on the agenda for the next meeting, are you?
Well, I've got it on here, but if not, we can wait till December.
I
No.
think we need to wait till December, give
We
us a
need to
little
wait
more
till
opportunity to
December.
look at it.
Okay, well, that'd be fine.
I mean, I didn't understand that, I guess, at the
I'll
meeting.
have to go back and add that up and I can send y'all all the figures, but let me then go ahead and go over the overview of anything that's changed. Okay, under the animal control, I did add, an extra $5,000 for fencing because we need some fencing done out there. Other than salaries, that's pretty much it. On the okay, on the executive, as you notice, I did leave the bond payment in here. We've also at the back we did a couple of the small accounts that are the bond revenues and also the expenses are going to come out of that. But basically, I put the payment there. Other than that, I did add an extra $10,000 to our Cisco. It actually had been at 30 for a long time. I dropped it this year, but we did have some problems. We have a firewall that is about 15 years old and it's going to cost about $10,000, and that's our security. So we've got to have that. Other than that, other than raises, I did up the telephone a little bit, but that was about it on the executive. Finance, Phyllis.
Computers.
It looks like Phyllis had a little bit of, she actually went up a little, $5,000, because some of our computers are, all they're compatible for is Windows 7. Windows 7 is no longer supported by any kind of system upgrades or anything like that. So everything's got to go to Windows 10. So some of our computers are not compatible to Windows 10. So she's going to have some new computers. But other than that, salaries, I guess that was about all on her. On fire department, about the only thing that on fire department, other than maybe small stuff and salaries, was we did put the fire truck back in there, and the fire truck is $120,000 a year. So other than that, that's about the only thing that we had. Judicial, it stayed about the same. Parks, now parks, I want to explain to you about parks. And this year's parks, I had $100,000 for the TAP grant. We're still going to get the TAP grant to do some walking paths throughout the park and actually put in that second pedestrian bridge. But we're still getting the money, but we're not going to get it this year. It'll be next year. So I just carried that over to next year. So there's no change there, but I just want you to know it was not spent this year. So it'll just go back in there next year. Police department, same thing with police department. The only thing that we did have that really was significant was we have some computers there that have to be upgraded. I think we've got about 12 exactly that just are not compatible to Windows 10. We tried to upgrade them and they just will not do it. And then also he did put his 2 cars back in there of $70,000 to get his cars going. We did go up about $7,000 on utilities because we're not sure exactly how much the utilities are going to be. In the time being, when they get things started, we're still going to have the current police station and the new police station. So I did up that a little bit there. Solid waste, I did up that just a little bit for the 3% increase for the fuel tax that we give them. But other than that, that's pretty much the overview. Now, do you have any questions?
There's one problem with this. The last sheet you gave us on franchise fees, where you show the available funds is $600,000 with $343,000 going for the bond payment and $256,000 going to the general fund.
Yes.
Well, if you go to general fund, you've included the $600,000.
Yes, I did. Yes, because then
They all go to the general
because
fund.
the payment is going to come out, so the rest of it just stays in the general fund. If you notice the executive, the bond payment's there, so we're putting the $600 into the general fund. So after we make the payment, that's the difference that will remain in there to pay the bills.
Where does the bond payment show up in your?
In executive. Look under executive, under bond. The
Okay.
executive page, look under executive, under bond.
That's like 300 something odd thousand.
$343,177.11.
Okay.
I've got a question though, Mayor.
Okay.
Kind of over on the overall thing, okay. We
Which
said-
overall thing?
Roughly, we have like a $7 million budget. Is that
Yeah,
right?
well, let's see, I'll see exactly.
I
how
think that's
much.
what Wayne said last week. With the street fund or whatever.
Actually, the total revenues is $6,024,705.06.
Okay, where are you at there? Revenues.
It's at the very last page of revenues.
What's the total, Mayor, what's the total proposed budget? The total for 2021,
Okay, 2021, if you'll go to revenues,
okay?
on the very last page, that shows you the total receipts,
5,621.
and that shows you the total, total revenues. That counts your receipts and your carryover. So look at the total revenues, which is $6,024,705.06. Your distributions is what we're paying out is $5,998,443.86. So that leaves you $26,261.20.
So
How
that,
big,
That does not include the street department.
That's not the street department. That's strictly general fund.
so we're only,
That $1.4 million I was talking about was total, including street department.
Okay.
so we're only carrying over 26,000
No, we're carrying over 400,000. You have to go back on.
from
your-
this year.
Yes.
From this year, it's just 26,000.
Well, yes, but
I don't want to know it running total. I'm talking about where we.
okay. All right. Last year, if you look at this was the year, the very last page we're looking at. It shows last year I should have $30,000 at the end of the year. I ended up with 400,000. So just because I say
Right.
it's 26,000.
I know you're under figuring.
Yes. So our carryover is 400,000.
Okay, this is why I'm asking this. Okay,
Okay.
because in 17 years we're going to run out of tax money, and we've got to come up with about $4.5 million.
Okay. Well, now that's not your city sales tax. You've got to go to city sales tax. Now, city sales tax, after we put 620, go to your tab that says city sales
Okay.
tax. Okay. Okay. Keep in mind these are different funds. If you look at it right now, we should have a carryover of $242,448.85.
Okay,
After we take in, I'm estimating 1.1 million. If you'll look, we're putting 620 in the general fund, 150 in street. So at the end of the year, we're going to have 572,448.85. And see that budget, well, I mean, that would then move over to the next year
Mhm.
and not even be touched.
so
Because you got to keep in mind, this city sales tax is a separate account. County sales tax is a separate account. So you really have to look at these to see what you have, because not everything, you got general fund, street fund, waterworks, and then all these little accounts here in the back. These are all separate monies,
okay,
okay? So every one of these back here are separate monies
so we're carrying over in this proposed budget 572,000,
of sales tax, yes,
and,
city sales
and
tax.
of this year, of that year, it's how much?
Okay,
200 and something of it.
yes,
200.
we've got 200, after this year, we've got 204. Now,
So this is where we need to put our money back then? For
Yes,
the stuff, so we need to
yes.
put back roughly 250,000 for the next 17 years to get four.
right, well,
$4.5
that's
million
where, so
to
this year I've
finish.
got 572,000. Now, I wouldn't necessarily make extra payments on that,
I don't care whether we make
Fine.
extra payments,
but
but
this is where it's gonna, this is where it's gonna be at. This is your savings right here. That's
yeah,
where
if
it's
we
gonna be
don't
at.
put that back,
Right,
at least 250,000 for the next 17 years, we won't have anything. We'll have to ask for another tax,
right.
is what I'm getting
Yes.
at.
But
So
that's
when
where
we're
it's
making a
gonna be.
budget, we should always make sure
Yes,
in there we carry over at least what you did this year,
right.
which is what I was saying. It looks like it's taking care of itself.
Mhm.
But if you keep eating that city sales tax up in other areas, then it
Right.
won't eventually.
Exactly. Right,
We need to commit some kind of way by resolution or something to make sure that we put back that 250 every year
well, that's, you can do that.
and not touch it unless it's a dire emergency.
And in fact, we could actually, I would think, open up another account to actually just keep the 250 in.
I mean, I want to
Really
do
didn't hear
something
anyone.
just to make sure. I mean, I just want to be responsible because I mean, we got a 30-year payment and we've only got 17 years left or whatever.
Right.
So
Mhm.
in that sense, we're not being responsible if we don't do something, and we can't just,
Right. Well, see, this will be
Let that-
572,000, and the hopes are, like you said, we would add at least that 250 or more every year.
And
that's what I
that's
want,
drawing
that's the way I want, that's the way I would like
And that will
us
be drawing
to do it.
interest also.
Yeah, that's
It's
a drawing
an
interest.
account.
What do you think about that, Wayne?
I agree with what you're saying. You need to make some, preparation. Either somebody's gonna pay the price somewhere down the line. We can either make plans to help with it now, or we can wait and let somebody else deal with it, but I think you're right.
Well, you can actually, pay extra on that loan too every year. if you
Well,
want.
that's what I was fixing to say. Can't we make extra payments on the bond?
Yes, yes.
I'd rather do it that way, and that way we won't be tempted to spend it somewhere else.
I agree with that.
Well,
Pay what we can every year, and that'll cut down the payments and the years.
and we can do that. We can do that instead of keeping it in here. Just go ahead and put it on that loan.
Yeah, I don't think it's a good idea to keep it.
Somebody might decide to spend it.
Okay with either way, as long as we had a resolution or something like what you're saying, but I'm okay with the, I just want to be responsible for the other 13 years that aren't accounted for.
Yeah, we can actually include it in the budget every year, like underneath where I've got general street, you can actually put in a line there that says extra bond payment and actually go ahead and us send the payment to them.
Well, and my resolution was gonna be, not to put it in an account, but, say a minimum of $250,000. It needs to be a minimum of 250, or you won't make it at the end of the 17 years.
Well, and I can go back and include that extra payment in there if you want me to, and go ahead and sure to do it.
I like that personally. It makes me feel better about what we're doing. It makes it, to me, it makes the numbers more real, because otherwise we're just kicking the can down the road and somebody's going to deal with it.
And that won't be hard. I can just go in and redo that one page and show, and then when we send in that payment when it's due, and I can't remember exactly when it's due right now without it being in front of me, but we go ahead and pay extra payment at that time.
Okay, anything else for finance? We've kind of passed over the water department.
Water department is at the back, and
There's only a 3% increase in salaries, and that's the big expense as far as I can tell.
yeah, that's the only thing, that was all that changed on them either. The only thing, I think they asked for a truck and a dump truck as far as equipment. Capital improvements, I think it was just and a truck's all they asked for.
Okay, anything else?
I did that.
Now, I can add the payroll figure up to you, and I can send it to y'all tomorrow.
Okay,
David, what'd you have?
Okay, on the trucks, we're getting a truck for the street department. Whose truck is that?
Well, I don't
Who's it
have any
for?
idea. I
So we're
didn't
just
ask.
getting another truck,
Yeah, I've got 2 or 3 that's just about bit the dust.
because we bought one for Jacob,
Yes, he's
and then
driving
Mike's
it.
got a nice one, and then we just got all the rest of them are just clunkers. Is that what you're
Well,
saying?
pretty much, because they've been hand-me-downs from Waterworks.
Why don't you give them to them in better condition, man?
If you let me buy more new ones, I will.
It can just be anybody who's going to drive this truck.
Right, I can't tell you who offhand. I didn't.
I mean,
they
it
didn't
might
tell
just
me.
be different people.
Yes, it
Is
could
what I'm
be.
getting at. It's
Yes,
not a certain person's truck.
exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, and then one other question. We're putting a fire truck back in here.
Yes.
So did we paid off a truck and then we didn't pay?
Well, we what it is, before I came, there was this council, some of them are here now, they did a 5-year rotation of new fire trucks. Well, here's the fire, let the
No, I
fire
was
chief tell
asking.
you.
Yeah, we passed a resolution to purchase a truck every 5 years. We run 4 engines, and that would put us on a 20-year rotation, that a truck would be,
I remember that part of
20
it.
years old. And so what we did was last year, we were expecting to, cut the budget. We tried to trim everything out, so we finished paying engine 3 off, and so we did not order a truck last
So
year.
this will be the start of a new one.
This put us back on, starting us back to a rotation. It puts us actually at a 6-year, so it'll be a 24, but I mean, it's not horrible. It's just gonna push us back from what we originally planned a few years ago, but price will go up too.
Okay.
But that's what that is. So that was part of what we used to try to save us money last year on the possible losing sales tax. Or we did lose it.
Okay, anything else for the finance? We're gonna delay the budget until December. Mayor will provide us with some additional information between now and then.
Yep, I'll get it tomorrow.
Okay,
I'll add that tomorrow. I should have had it, and I apologize.
anything else?
I believe that's all I've got for, budget, finance department meeting.
Okay, do I hear a motion to adjourn the finance committee?
Make a motion.
Second.
All in favor, aye. Okay, Larry, it's yours.
All right, I'm gonna call the agenda committee meeting to order. What do you got, Mayor, besides under the new business up there? What, third reading of the, ordinance levying taxes, and under new business, what is that, Mayor?
Okay, what this is we are wanting to purchase the dump truck through Sourcewell. Well, I had our city attorney look this up, and she thinks that really it is a state contract. But what it is, it's got several companies going together, and it used to be called HGAC. And for some reason, the auditors, because everything I do, I check with them to make sure that we're doing it the way they want it. And even though our city attorney doesn't agree with this one, they want us to have a resolution that says it's okay to buy with them, because our city attorney says it's already a state bid anyway. So if it's a state bid, we do not have to bid it in the paper, because they've already given you the cheapest bid that there is in the state. So this is for only governmental contract or government entities.
Haven't we bought those, pieces of equipment on state bid before?
Yes.
Yeah, we buy the fire trucks off of HGAC.
And HGAC is the same thing as
It's about
Sourcewell.
3 or 4 states altogether.
I don't understand.
Well, we didn't either, but this was per the auditor. Because our city attorney is here and she researched it. Cecilia, is this state bid?
Yeah, I disagreed with the auditor, but as you all know, it's better for the long run for us to do what the auditors,
I
request.
understand that, but I don't understand, what is the difference?
They're a buying group. Yeah. And so what they do is that buying group negotiates the state bid. And so we buy from them or through them,
So
but they give the state bid price.
one particular dealer doesn't bid on it and get state prices now. It used to be one dealer, one regular dealer out here, a Ford dealer, or whatever. An international dealer.
Yeah, it's got Ford, Chevrolet, G. I mean, it's got every different manufacturer of all kinds of different equipments on there. It's just what their lowest bids for a fleet type vehicle is.
Jacob, are you online? Jacob, are you?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, can you explain that any more than we can?
Yes, ma'am. What it is you go on their website, you pick out your piece of equipment, say you're going to look at a backhoe. You look at the specifications that you set forward, you match them with what is being listed, and they give you a percentage price on it.
But this is a state procurement.
Yeah, more or less, yeah.
It's several companies going together to honor that state bid, and but our auditors is making us do this, even though we've done business with the other company forever. This is the same company, they just changed their name.
Yes, ma'am.
We were actually, when HGAC started, Phyllis might remember, we were the first. Frazier bought that rescue truck off of.
Yes, and we have a
We were the
contract
first.
with HGAC, but
Right.
they're no longer called HGAC.
Right, yeah.
They're now.
But that was the deal. The state auditors though popped us on that, and we were like the first test group in Arkansas, whether it was legal or not. And we actually,
Yes.
I mean, we proved it was legal then.
Yes.
So do they sell a specific truck, or do you have a choice?
They sell all kinds of stuff. If you look at the back, I put pictures of playground equipment, heavy equipment, vehicles,
You can think
office
of it, they sell.
equipment, they sell everything, but they negotiate the
bids,
lowest
have bids
bid
on
that
it.
they can get for you.
Looks like they sell roads.
So there's-
Harold,
I'm saying, what brand of trucks do they sell? Do they offer?
all of them.
All of them, all brands.
Okay.
You want us to buy a certain brand, Larry?
No, I just curious. There are some brands out there that are Cadillacs that you, and then there's some brands that'll do the job that are not Cadillacs. You know, it's kind of like a Chevrolet and a Cadillac. They'll both get you the same place. One of them just costs more than the other.
That's true. So anyway, we've been doing business with these people, but they changed their names. Now the auditors wants us to have a resolution to say it's okay to do the same thing we've been doing. That's
Okay.
the thing. Because they changed the names and it's the same company.
I make a motion that we put this on the agenda,
I'll
That-
second.
this ordinance.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Okay, we'll just start at the bottom and go up then. All right, do I hear let's see, I have to put the third reading on there, don't you? Don't I, Mayor? Do I
Yes,
hear a motion and a second to put the, levying taxes ordinance on the agenda for its third reading?
Make a motion.
Second.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, I need a motion and a second to put the ordinance for the elected officials for the 27th pay period. Do I hear a motion second to put that on the agenda?
I make a motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, I need a motion and a second to put the resolution amending the budget for the 27th pay period on next week's agenda. Do I have a motion and a second to do that?
Make a motion.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
All right, the motion carries. Anybody else have anything they want to put on the agenda? Anybody? Last call. Citizens wishing to appear. Mayor, you got anybody there?
do we have any citizens on the line? Anybody? I guess not. Not at this time.
I need a motion that the agenda meeting adjourn.
Make a motion.
Have a second? We're adjourned.
Okay, well, I have a couple things to tell you. First off, I will tell you that there was some CARES money that was given to cities and counties. We were all given an amount by population of monies that we could recoup from the COVID disaster. We've been very fortunate that we're actually going to be able to get back our payroll on our police and firemen. It's not any administrative salaries. It's just strictly our patrolmen or our firemen that are on the streets, but we're going to be able to get their actual money back from March the 1st until the end of this year. So we're
Right.
about $350,000 that we should be getting back. So that's a good thing.
Let's
So-
pay that bond issue.
Well, we'll have the money. We'll have 350,000 extra money that we can put in savings or do whatever you want to do with it. So that's a good thing. We haven't got the money yet, but I want to, Robin, I think is on here, give him a thank you. He's worked really hard on this grant and I don't know if he's gotten an update yet on it, but they will contact us. But the county's already been approved and we should be right behind them. So
It did get approved today, Mayor.
it did get approved.
It did.
Okay, so we should be getting money on that. Also, they gave us money to update some of our equipment, which includes some of our laptops or different things. And so, Robin, am I correct saying that all the council will be getting some updated equipment?
Yes.
Okay, so you all will be getting something better than the iPads that might be a little, it'll be more like a Surface or a little laptop. that might make it easier for all these meetings and things that you've got to do. It'll have a keyboard on it. So you're all going to be getting some equipment. We also are going to get a few other pieces of like laptop things for some of our employees that don't have them. So they could do more things from home if need be. We also are going to get some sort of system to make our, hopefully it may make our calls like this better. It may not, but it is something that they have approved also. So in total, we're going to be getting back about $408,000. And about $350 of that is payroll. Is that correct, Robin?
Yes.
Somewhat, okay.
358.
So,
Yeah.
so that'll be $350. That'll be in our pockets that we did not expect.
So this is a grant from the money that the federal government did?
That the federal government gave to the state,
Okay.
and the state approved to help cities and counties. And they based it on the size of your population on how much they would allot you to get.
Cool.
So.
Good job, Robin.
So Robin did do, he's done it for me, and I appreciate it very much. The other thing that I guess I've got is Robin has also done some things to be able to, he's getting us some Wi-Fi in different places. He's going to be able to bounce off of, I don't know if you even noticed it, it's not that noticeable, but we put a new tower on top of the code office, and we're going to be able to bounce over to the new police station and the street department with our own Wi-Fi, and that's going to save us quite a bit of money because we will be bouncing off of our own signal instead of having to pay for that. The other thing that I'm actually going to do or I've already done is I'm working with Entergy about being on their solar program. There was only so many that were able to get in on it and had to be governmental entities or schools, public entities. But I was able to get in with this group. It was approved by the Public Service Commission. And Mark Hunt with Entergy is telling me that we should save $51,000 a year on Entergy bills, light bills. So it's hard for me to believe we're going to save that much, but he swears that we're going to save $51,000 a year on our light bills. So I'm not sure when that, I had to get everything together for them that we needed, all of our accounts and all that. It's all done. So I'm not sure if that'll start in January 1st or when, but it's going to be pretty soon. So I hope he's right. I hope we will save $51,000 on light bills. So that'd be a great one. But other than that, I know, Mary, are you still on the line?
Yes, I am.
Well, we just want to all give you our condolences and tell you that we're all very sorry for your loss. And I'm sure everybody will say the same thing. If there's anything at all we can do for you, we're here for you. Do you have any arrangements yet?
Yes, the service is going to be at the stage over there.
The stage.
Saturday at 1 o'clock.
Saturday at 1 o'clock. Okay. Well, Mary, like I say, that we're so sorry. If there's anything we can do for you, please don't hesitate to call us.
And thank you all so much.
You're welcome. If that's everything, I'm done. So thank y'all very much, and I will get the figures for you tomorrow, and then we will meet on Monday night. Thank you so much.
All right.